Hi, this is Katie, and thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I wanted to talk about your sense of self. Many times when astronauts and people going into space fly up there and look down on what this big blue marble of Earth looks like from that viewpoint, they have a very profound experience of how small we all are compared to the rest of the universe, and what our part is in that, and how we relate ourselves to everything else that we know exists. And it can put a lot into perspective of what is really important in the day-to-day. Like how does my one body in this world, how does it affect others? What are my choices? What can I do throughout my life? And it can really start with thinking of our boundaries, right? It can think about, okay, I have a boundary of skin around me and I am a human being and I have my own limits. And I can set boundaries within myself and others. So basically what a boundary is emotionally is this is where I extend out to, and this is where you start, if that makes sense. So I extend myself out to this is my boundary, and everything inward is mine, and everything on the other side is yours. And of course, that can be a little gray sometimes in figuring it all out. But this whole sense of self, and how does that relate to others, and how we can be perceived in that sense as well, of like, what does it mean to be understood by someone else? What does it mean to say, well, I have this need or this boundary, and I need you to honor that, and how the other side can be like, yes, I do honor that because I want to have a relationship with you, an emotionally secure relationship, a relationship that can progress forward and build from there on. We can think about also our inner values of what we hold dear, what we stand for, what we believe in, what we think is the right way to navigate the world, and to think about our values every day in how we step forward and we make decisions, and we say, well, this is a big value of mine, and I'm going to fight for the cause. I'm going to donate money. I'm going to express how important that is, and I'm going to talk to other people about how important that is to me because of my beliefs. And it's also how our sense of self can also be about how we keep improving in life, in how we progress and we start to see things a little differently. Maybe when we were young, in our teens and 20s, we had this more simple black and white kind of thinking of like, well, if this just happened, then this would work. Or when I get that certain age, I'm going to be different than everybody else. And then you find out it's very hard when you become that age and you have all these assumptions, and you're very much challenged about your actual thoughts of that time. And when you understand something, when you go, oh, that's more obvious to me, then you're actually going, oh, my brain can actually comprehend this now. I can understand the different grays and dualities of life, and we can grow. And when we look back a couple years and think, oh, I used to believe in these things, and it could be very small things. I used to believe that this was the best way, that this was the best way I could step forward in life. And then you challenge those along the way, and then you grow. And if you're seeing and looking back on yourself and you're a little cringy, that's a good thing. That means you're growing. I know I look back at my early years and go, oh, I did that. Yeah, but that's because I've grown. And to see the value in that we all have value, that we all have this linked value between us, that we all have worth, and we all are worthy of respect and love, and community is a really important thing. So I believe like all of these ingredients add up to our sense of self and how we say like, this is me. This is me, and this is how I approach the world. So I hope that helps a little bit, and would love to hear your input. If you'd like to DM me on any social media, or just email me at listen@mysensesmyspace.com. And until next time, thank you for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast.